Here in the Thought Leader Lounge to start this week off in such a powerful space. I'm really excited about today's episode. We've got some special guests joining us, and I want to hear what's good and great in your world. Like, just in the chat, what are you grateful for? In the US, we just celebrated Thanksgiving. So what are you grateful for this morning? What's good in your life? And as you're doing that, welcome to everyone who's streaming in with us on all the social platforms. I'm Sara Connell. I am a best-selling author of 5 books, and I am the incredibly grateful founder of Thought Leader Academy, where we help coaches, experts, and entrepreneurs 10 times their impact and their revenue by becoming best-selling authors and in-demand speakers. So if I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you before, I'm so honored to be with you today, and welcome to the lounge. The Thought Leader Lounge is our space to come together on Mondays. If you ever want to come live in Zoom like our VIPs, you can email care@saraconnell.com and we'll get you in the room. What we do on Mondays is we get into a state of clarity, intentionality, focus, and what we call up vibe, right? We're going to get excited and empowered about what's coming in the week so that we can make this the best week of our lives so far, that we can make a true impact on the world, that we can be the leaders we came here to be, and we can have an incredible amount of fun in the process. So I love that we've got those of you in Zoom are putting in some of the wonderful things you're grateful for. Amazing humans. Yes, I love that, Kelly. Grateful for a new level of empowerment, Dawn. Grateful for friends and family and the ability to focus on your goals, Charlotte. Well, we're so happy that you're here. If you're on social, put your answers when we prompt in the comments, and we will our team and I will go and read them. All right, so we are going to have a really cool conversation today about visibility and about marketing. Okay, and so we have some special guests from Lead Labs here. I'll introduce you to them in just a moment, and we're going to have an awesome conversation about how we can up-level, how we can start feeling more empowered and more clear, and what are the strategies we really want to be thinking about in terms of visibility and marketing. But before we get to that, I want to just get us centered. Let's take a breath and just notice, are you breathing fast and shallow? Are you breathing deep into your belly, slow and rich? There's no right or wrongs. There's no judgment here. But let's just take a moment if you want to put your hands on your belly or your thighs, your hips, feeling your feet rooting into the earth, feeling your shoulders unwind, maybe moving your neck from side to side. And then connecting to the light of source, the light of the universe above you, the light below you in the earth, and bringing those lights into the center. We're coming up on the shortest day of the year in a couple of weeks, winter solstice. And this is about bringing in the light. We get to bring in the inner light when it becomes shorter days and a little bit darker and colder outside, depending on where we are in the world. So let's bring that light into our centers and radiate that light out. An even deep breath, opening the jaw. Now, why would we do this on a show where we're talking about thought leadership and impact and visibility and revenue? Because it can be a really revved up time. Can be a revved up time in the world where we feel a lot of rev with holidays and with just weather and with all the stuff. And so this month in the lounge, we're going to be really centering and grounding as we get started at the beginning of the week. Because when we're able to slow down, even when everyone might be revving up, we're going to get our best thinking. We're going to have better clarity. We're going to be able to make empowered, intuitive decisions, and we're going to enjoy the ride a little more. So who felt revved in the last week? Did anyone else feel like there's just some rev going on? If you're an empath, I know a lot of us are. I am. Just even the energy, like Thanksgiving morning in the US, I woke up at 4 a.m., like wide awake, and I was excited to sleep in. I was like, whoa, we're just going to sleep in. No, because the rev of the atmosphere, right, was very high where I live. And so I just actually had a phenomenal day. I just did like a really long morning meditation and gratitude walk. It was actually phenomenal. And it's unless we do some things to counterbalance the rev, we can get into some spin. So I want everyone to feel healthy and feel centered, feel calm. Okay, so that's what I want to start with today. Couple quick announcements. Wednesday, this is your last chance to get your ticket to our Your Next Level Masterclass. So Wednesday, 11 to 2, I think it's 11 to 2 or 11 to 3 Eastern, is our masterclass. We've got the link here. If you have not gotten a ticket to that yet, it's going to be an absolutely phenomenal day. We're going to review and integrate this year, and you're going to set a vision for an epic 2024. And I've been developing this process for over 21 years that I'm going to take you through live on Wednesday. It is very powerful. It has helped me achieve all the goals I've set. The new ones I'm adding on for next year, I know it will work and help me. So we're going to be doing that together on Wednesday, this Wednesday, November 29th. So grab your ticket to that if you don't have it yet. And let's get right into it, because I want you to meet some incredible leaders, some incredible thought leaders. And what's so fun is we're Thought Leader Lounge, Thought Leader Academy, and we have our special guests from Lead Lab, right? So what's a lead, right? We're leading our thoughts, and we're also, what's a lead in business? If anyone knows, put it in the comments or the chat as we get ready to bring up Sara and Kristen to our stage. Hey there, Kristen.
Hello, how are you?
So happy to see you. So I'm just asking in the chat, and in the comments, those of you on social, what's a lead? What does that mean in business when we say someone is a lead? If you know, I think it's fun because you both, Kristen and Sara, are from Lead Lab, right? So leads are, it's a marketing term, right? It's a marketing term that says, people that are potential, wonderful, awesome people for us to work with and serve, right? That's what a lead. So, you might like that terminology. You might want to prospect, Kelly. Exactly. It could be someone, a potential client, a potential student if you teach, a potential customer if you have a product, right? So these incredible women and their team of women and men at Lead Lab are really experts in helping businesses in many, many ways, in a very holistic, a very thorough, a very robust, strategic. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about this. There's marketing and then there's strategy, right? You all bring together both. And so I wanted to have invite Kristen and Sara. You might have met Kristen and Matt at our Women Starting Movements retreat, but I wanted to have a conversation today. How many of you who are watching right now think that you could improve your marketing? Like, just put M for marketing. If you feel like, I could do more, I could do better. I might not know how, but like my business would, some of you are writing M. Yeah, absolutely. So we wanted to bring on these brilliant women who are going to be here to share with us today a little bit about the way that they think. We want to tap into their strategic minds, the way that they think about marketing, and teach us something that we could be building into our 2024 plans, right? We're going to be doing that on Wednesday. So first of all, welcome, Kristen and Sara. Welcome to the Thought Leader Lounge.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Happy to be here.
And Sara has a brand new baby and is just back today from maternity leave. This is her first day back, and she's on the show. So congratulations and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So overjoyed for you. All right, so let's get right to it. Tell us a little bit about Lead Lab, your philosophy. If you were saying this is why we created this company.
Yeah, so I created Lead Lab 8 years ago. It was after working with Kristen. We worked at the same company, a big mega agency named Performix in Chicago. So big brands, big mega budgets. We were both on the search marketing account. I was doing some freelancing on the side and recognized right away that a lot of smaller mid-sized agencies did not have access to strategy, best practices, how to use the tools. And so it inspired me to break away and make my full-time job my part-time job, and I started freelancing. And almost immediately I ran into Kristen at a workout class, actually, and she was also freelancing and also kind of helping out some small agencies. So within a year of starting Lead Lab, Kristen joined forces with me, and we've both just kind of worked on building a team that is expert in paid search, paid social, programmatic, any sort of ad budget. learning how to manage it and optimize it, being very
Yeah.
data driven and thoughtful in what we're doing. And we are now bringing that same expertise to small businesses, mid-sized businesses, and agencies who want to make sure that what they're doing and how they're spending their money is working.
I love this so much. And I love that you both met at a workout class. We have a tack in Thought Leader Academy. We talk about passioning. Like when you keep showing up at the things you love that make you feel good, you just synchronistically meet the right people, whether it's future business partners, joint venture partners, collaborators, mentors, clients, everything in between. I love that so much I didn't know that about your story. And I really like this too, because so many of us got into thought leadership, because we are passionate about our craft. So put craft in the chat, everybody that feels like, you got into because you love to help people as a coach or a consultant or a writer. You wanted to, move people deeply with your work. Like you were in it for the craft, right? It's your purpose. And very few of us were trained in business. Like I don't have an MBA. I have no desire to get an MBA. I luckily worked at a big ad agency in Chicago. So I learned, a lot about marketing there, right? That I can translate to entrepreneurship. But most of us were trained or are called to what I'm just calling the craft, meaning the like doing the work, serving people. And then we're expected to be brilliant strategists in marketing and like know how to do stuff. And then what I did, and I want to know if anybody watching did this, is then you just say, screw it. Like I'm kind of not going to deal with it. I'll do word of mouth. I'll do referrals, kind of whoever shows up, I'll serve. And that was the marketing strategy. And big shock, my business numbers reflected that. And the people I got to impact reflected that, because while I was very blessed and people did refer and whatever, it was a very small universe, right? And so in order for those of us that want to make a bigger impact, marketing just means more impact. It'll mean more revenue too, but it's serving more people, letting them know we're here. And so we need people like you both that were trained in the top places, often as entrepreneurs to help us. So I asked you both if you would share something for everybody here. We like to leave, on the Thought Leader Lounge, we like to like take something away that we could try to implement or think. So we're ready to learn. Like I'm going to just turn it over to you to teach us something today.
Yeah, absolutely. Kristen, you want me to drive? You mind if I drive?
Yeah, go for it. My internet's being goofy, so that works a little bit better.
Perfect.
Thank you.
So one of the things we want to just talk through today is just boosting a Facebook post. I know a lot of us are very active on social media and want to get their word out even beyond your followers. And we just want to show you on Facebook, Instagram, like how to do that. So I'm going to share my screen. All right, so if you have a Facebook page, and this works with Instagram as well, you've probably seen this button that says promote. And Facebook makes it really easy to just click that button, put in your credit card, and hit send. But that's not going to bring you the best results. What you actually want to do is kind of dig into the settings and make sure that you're boosting it thoughtfully. So what we like to do is we like to just kind of use our platform as a way to just kind of share content. And then we look and see what has the best traction. So, what had the most likes, what had the most comments, what really like kind of got some traction. And so if we see that like organically it's something that has some good impact, maybe it brought some clients, maybe somebody filled out the form from it, maybe it got some likes and comments, that might be a good one to promote. So when you hit the promote, you get this dialog box. And so I just want to talk through some of the settings that you want to pay attention to when putting together your Facebook ad. So the very first, very important question to answer is your goal. So this is how the algorithms on Facebook optimize your ad. So you want to get more of the thing that you want to get out of this. So like I said, Facebook makes it really easy to just hit click, 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 go, and it does it for you. So you can do automatic and you can let Facebook figure out for you what your goal is, or you can dig into the settings and actually pick the goal that is most accurate to what you're looking for. So maybe you want more engagement from your post, or maybe you want people to message you, or maybe you want people to fill out a form and actually connect with you, or maybe you want people to visit your website and actually learn more. You want to pick the goal that's going to be most accurate to what you're trying to get. And this is going to be every decision that Facebook makes on optimizing your ad is going to be against this goal.
Mm.
And then another really important, when you can pick like what the button says. So you want the button to match the goal. So if you want someone to come to your website, maybe you want it to say learn more. If you want them to send a message, you want to say send message. You want it to align with what your goal is with your button. Another really important place that you need to make a decision is how you're going to target your boosted ads. You don't have all the money in the world. You want to make sure the money you spend is going to the right people. So as you see, Facebook decided that anyone living in the United States age 18 to 65 is relevant for my ad. But that's not true. That's not who I want to reach. That's way too big of an audience. So if you click into the audience, you can actually narrow it down. So maybe you want to make the age a little bit higher so that you're reaching, professionals. Maybe you want to target a certain location. Maybe you've got a store or maybe a location that you have a lot of customers from. So maybe you want to, narrow in your location. Or you can do your targeting. So maybe you want to target down by demographics. So perhaps income level, or whether they're parents, or if they're in a relationship. So you want to think about who your customer is when you're building this profile. I call this going shopping, where you just kind of go through and kind of see what makes sense for what you're trying to do. There's also interests. There's also behaviors, what kind of behaviors they have. You can also search too. So maybe I want to find I have a winery and I want to find somebody who drinks wine on occasion. So you can choose that. So you can search for your targets as well. So you want to make your targets as well defined as possible. You can see over here where how much is in this audience. So as you can see, this is way too big of an audience for my budget. So even if you have like maybe $100, $200 budget to boost your ad, you maybe only want this to be 1,000, 2,000 people. So you really want to narrow in your audience as well as you can. You set your budget. Automatic placements is fine. If you have a pixel, that's really going to help with the algorithms to be able to target, and then you're ready to go. I will say that this is the light version of Facebook ads. This is the easy, kind of set it up as you go. If you are interested in running ads at a deeper level, there is an ads manager that has a lot more audiences and targets that you can target. You can do, lookalikes based on people who've been to your website. You can retarget your current customers. There's a lot more options if you're ready to, take it to the next level. But as long as you know the settings here, you can, boost your ads and boost your posts and get in front of more audiences more easily.
That is so great, Sarah. Thank you.
Of course.
So what's like, I want to hear what those of you that are watching with us live in the Zoom room, and those of you on social, just put it in the comments. Like, what did that open up for you? I want to know if you got an idea. Maybe when I used to see Boost post, I didn't do the step you all talked about initially, which is don't just boost a post for kicks. Look at all your posts over the last week or two and see which one got the most engagement or the most, shares, the most comments, the most, what's already, because if something you tapped into something in one of your posts, then it's worth sharing that with more people, right? So there's a strategic piece there of looking at which posts to boost, and then looking at some of the choices, even in a do-it-yourself, because I don't deal with Ads Manager myself, but I can deal with what you just showed us, which is looking through how to boost a post that happened to do well, right? And so I love this about, narrowing the audience and deciding, again, you can look at their interests, behaviors, and demographics, and understanding too, like, what is the goal? Do we want engagement? Do we just want visibility? Do we want someone to take an action and book a call with us or fill out a form? Those are all the strategic things we want to be thinking about so that we don't feel like a lot of people feel like, oh, I'm just kind of playing the roulette table and throwing money on the table and seeing what happens, right? There's a strategy here. So let's just, those of you that are on with us, just put something in the chat that was, that either but you're going to action from what Sara just shared, or you weren't even aware of. Like, oh, I didn't know to wait and see which of my posts each week gets engagement and then boost that one. So we'll let people have a minute to put something in the chat there. And Kristen, what else should we be aware of? Like, what's the biggest mistake you see people make when they're trying to do their own marketing? Like, what mistake are we making?
I think it's just about, not being as strategic as you can be and taking advantage of all of the levers that you really can pull on these platforms to reach the right audience that you want to, actually be targeting, especially when you're going to be putting media dollars behind it, because that's an investment. So you want to make sure, to your point that you guys were just saying, you're not just putting it out there to the whole world if the whole world isn't the right audience. You want to really make sure
right.
Making the best use of all of those, levers that you can pull to reach that audience and make the most efficient use of any media budget you're going to put behind boosting a post or running any sort of ad campaign.
So smart. What would you agree, Sara? Or is there anything else that we want to be aware of to not make?
Yeah. I would also say another mistake that we often see is not measuring what you're doing. So like not, having the pixel, not having, Google Analytics on your site to see how many people filled out the form, not using UTMs to see if somebody clicked your ad, what did they do? Because when you spend $200, you want to know, what did I get for that $200? And so you want to make sure you have the pipes in place to be able to answer that question before you spend any money at all.
I love that. Yeah. Being straight, like everyone, we all do a lot to earn the money, to manifest the money, and we want to use it wisely. There's a question from Kelly on the comment about the 2,000 to 6,000 people being too many for $100 a day budget. Do you have any guidelines on budget numbers or the average percentage of conversions we should be targeting on Facebook?
Yeah, so the budget just kind of depends on what you can spend. I mean, in a lot of these, there's you can spend as much, you could spend a lot. There's a lot of people who are within your target. So I would say start small and, start with a budget that you can kind of use as like a test budget. See, maybe $200 to $500, let's say. Could be like a solid test budget. Make sure you have the pipes in place so that you can measure what happened with that. And then you can see, was that worth it? Did it work? How can I optimize it further? And then if it's say, hey, that really, produced great return, let's make it $1,000, let's make it $1,500, let's make it more. So really just kind of depends on how it performs, but start small first.
And someone asked, what's a UTM?
So a UTM, it goes at the back of the URL, and I will actually, can I share a link in the chat?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So it goes at the end of your URL and it tells Google Analytics what that click was from. So it's UTM source, you could say Facebook, medium, paid ad, what content was it?
Nice.
And so that when someone clicks it, your Google Analytics will say, oh, I know exactly what that was. That was a Facebook ad, and it was this ad, and it was this post, and then you can see on the back end how it performed. So I'll put in the chat a calculator, and it will just really easily tell you how to build a UTM, but it's just a best practice to put it on any link that you share out so that you can then measure in Google Analytics what that was.
Yeah, it's a tracker. Oh my gosh. I want to make sure we're doing this. I think we are, but I'm going to double check today. So thank you for that.
Yes, of course.
It's way more complicated than it is. With the link Sara will share, it really just outlines it for you, and it makes it way more helpful when you have a lot of people that are going to the same link. You can really identify where they're coming from. But definitely the link that Sara shares will walk you through setting that up pretty easily and efficiently for you to start using.
This is amazing. I love it so much. And I know you all do so many things. Like at Lead Lab, you really are very, I mean, I was so impressed after meeting with your team of like the comprehensive nature, whether it's SEO, social media, actual other types of advertising, traditional marketing. Like you guys really do it all. And then help people understand, well, what's the right thing for each? Because what's my perfect strategy that will be next will be different than Charla's, then Vered's, then Carl's, that, right? We're each going to have a different one. So how can people get in touch if they don't want to figure this out and they don't want to DIY and they want a marketing partner? What's the best way for them to get in touch with you guys so that you can, those of you watching, if you really think, next year I'm going to take my marketing to the next level and I want to have who, not how, this situation, right? And have a partner that knows what they're doing. Let us know the best way for everyone to get in touch with you.
Yeah, so I will share a link to our website. Definitely feel free to fill out our free consultation. That will allow, just a 1 hour call with us just to kind of brainstorm what your next steps are and kind of what we'd recommend.
Yep.
No obligation, just to kind of figure out, does this make sense? Does it not? What would we recommend for your business? So
Yep.
definitely reach out and say hi to us. We would love to talk to you, even if it's just about marketing in general. Like we love to
Yeah.
have those conversations. We also have a training academy, Lead Lab Academy. So if you're interested in learning more about the concepts and the whys and how to set things up, especially if you want to do it yourself, definitely feel free to check out our training academy as well if you want to learn more
Awesome.
deeper about how to do this on your own.
That is so great. So everybody, you can learn more if you want to be in a learning phase and go to the Lead Lab Academy. If you want a partner and a who not how experience for yourself, then use the link to do a consultation with Sara and Kristen and their team to learn more. I'm so grateful for you both to come on, because this is an area that is so important in our thought leader pathway. It's an entire one of our 5 core pillars. Our 5 core strategies is building your audience, right? Finding the people you're here to serve, and being able to do that in an empowered way, to have support in that. And I love the level of thinking that you're bringing to thought leaders, and not just grateful that you both didn't stay just in the Fortune 100 space and got to come out here for the newer businesses, the newer entrepreneurs, and as people grow. So really grateful for you both, and appreciate you, Sara, your very first morning after coming back from maternity to join us. Can we all give a huge thank you to Sara and Kristen and Lead Lab? And we'll make sure to have these resources available to everybody. If you're on social and you want the connections and the links, just go to care@saraconnell.com. Send us an email, and we will make sure to give you, all the details, because it's just such a labyrinth to understand, whether it's social media, traditional advertising, guerrilla marketing, all these different things, and to understand what's going to be. I think a lot of us feel like we're just setting money on fire, right? You're just like, I don't even know what to do with my marketing, and it can feel really overwhelming, and then we don't do any, and we stay restricted to the impact that we could have. So thank you both for being lighthouses for us and showing us how to really get out there in a way that has an ROI, in a way that's going to be customized and unique, and a way that's going to be strategic. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank you
so much. Yeah, that's awesome. It's so exciting, right? So we want to just kick off this, we want to kick off today and this week, because we're moving into the final month of the year. All right. So what we're going to be doing, make sure you have your ticket to the Next Level workshop this Wednesday, where we're going to really do that deep process. We're going to set the vision for the year. And then I'm going to show you how to use December to make the maximum possible amount of progress, while everyone else is off just, having parties and you can have all the parties too, but you can make December count. You can make December the best month of the year so far. You can make December the month that you actually start moving on your vision, because a body in motion will stay in motion, and you're not waiting until all of a sudden you kind of come out of the stupor of the holidays and go, what am I doing this year? And I always ended up feeling so behind in January. And so great leaders plan ahead, and you all in the month of November get to do this work with us. Again, if you're one of our clients already, your ticket's already been secured, and you'll just get that email reminder, and you can jump on and join us. It is recorded. If you can't come live and you still want to participate, go ahead and use the link here, and make sure that you join us on Wednesday. All right. So that's what we have for the Thought Leader Lounge this week. I want to hear one thing that you are going to do between now and Wednesday, when we're together for Next Level, to focus and move your vision forward. Let's all just commit to something. Okay. So if you're going to write for 20 minutes, you're going to work on your talk, you're going to boost a post using what we just learned from the team at Lead Lab. Okay. Margaret's going to do 25 minutes of research. Kelly's going to work on her book. Awesome. Margaret's going to create some videos to post. Sara, you're going to go on the power hour, get some work done tomorrow for TLA. Carl's writing today. Awesome. Yes. Lisa Michelle sticking to the writing wedges. Phenomenal. I did one over the weekend just to keep my book moving forward. It was great. And I did one each day. Really, really worked. I took Thanksgiving off. Other than that, I was doing the wedge. Okay. You all are absolutely awesome. All right. So if you're in TLA, go to the Power Hour tomorrow, get some great momentum going. Everybody else, I will see you Wednesday at 11 a.m. at the Next Level workshop. See you guys there.